Trumpers, remember you took an oath to this country and your constituents, not to him. Do your damn job.
We were getting everything right, and now most of them will admit that we were right.
I am taking a, what do they call it? Like a regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin. Ivermectin was a boogeyman early on.
You couldn't talk about it.
That was wrong. We were given bad information about ivermectin. The real question is why?
Now, when you see Chris Cuomo and Patrick Bet-David spinning it.
Listen, I don't want to go too hard right now because I want him to show up. But the fact that, and I will make sure to bring this up to him, but the fact that what he said, and if you listen to it, he literally goes, as he's explaining that he is on ivermectin, he goes, now a lot of people are going to say Joe Rogan is right. And then he has a moment where he pauses, realizes he can't even come up with anything. And he goes, all right, Joe Rogan was right. And then goes on to say exactly what you've been saying for years now.
The FDA has been crystal clear. A horse dewormer should never be used to treat or try to prevent COVID-19. But that's not stopping popular podcaster Joe Rogan from pushing the drug. In fact, crediting it with helping him recover quickly from COVID. Stephen Fabian reports.
Joe Rogan is back on his podcast for the first time since recovering.
He's saying, hey, you in Michigan, these measures to help try to control the spread, fight back. Are you kidding me? Shame on you. What kind of doctor would tell people to rise up and resist the only kind of prophylaxis that can help them?
Say it ain't so. The debate just happened. Dave Smith versus Chris Cuomo. Oh man, we already know Chris Cuomo has been saying a lot of things that now is coming to bite him at the end. You understand? Yes, we talking about that IV drug. You understand? Listen, sit back and react with your boy. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. I got a couple of clips that I put together. I collaged them where he's gonna contradict himself over and over and over again. So y'all sit back and react. Make sure you go in the comments, run it up, flood it up. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me stop wasting your time. Let's go. Watch how this play out.
Yeah, okay, so again, to take on what you just said, no, not everyone, and not everyone who gets paid. Joe Rogan is bigger than every single show at CNN combined and gets paid more than every single person at CNN combined. And he was 100% right about this thing through the entire time.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he wasn't. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get this point out here.
Tell me what he was right about.
Okay, how about, you know what you just revealed last month on Pat's show about ivermectin? Joe Rogan was saying that, and you were smearing him for saying that.
Yeah.
You literally said he's taking horse dewormer.
Yes.
He should be ashamed of himself. You pleaded with your audience to not take it.
Yes.
Then you come back around and you go, hey, Pat, you know what I just found out? Turns out this thing isn't for animals. Turns out humans are. But Chris, that's a 5-minute Google search and you would have known that.
First of all,
how do you not apologize to Joe Rogan?
Listen, do you know who disagrees with you?
No.
Do you know who disagrees with you?
Nobody.
The people who make ivermectin disagree with you.
Hold on. What do they disagree with me about?
That the drug should not be taken as a standalone for COVID-19.
I never said it should.
That's what Rogan was saying.
No. He did not. No, listen. See, this is the thing, Chris.
Yeah.
That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. Joe Rogan. So you just pretended that I said it's a standalone for COVID. Here's what it always was. Here's what Joe Rogan said. My doctor prescribed it to me, along with several other medications, just like your doctor prescribed it to you. That's what he said.
And with that being said, no doctor in the world is going to sit here and prescribe you something that is for an animal because you won't be able to get it at your local Rite Aid. So right then and there, people never put that logic together. You got to be able to put two and two together. Sometimes you got to sit back and just ask yourself the question and answer it at the same time and see how foolish you're gonna come across. You understand? I mean, that was the most simplest basic research you could have just did. So simple, and say, hold on, can a doctor really prescribe me an animal pill? Where will you be able to pick it up? You can't get a horse dewormer in Rite Aid. There ain't no horses out here, and that's not where you're gonna go get it at. So miss me with that. Your veterinarian is gonna get that. Now, if he would have said, listen, my vet prescribed, I'm gonna take this, then y'all could have said, oh nah, he's bugging right now. You understand? He is tripping. Chris Cuomo, I don't know, man. PBD, pause. That name sounds a little ayo.
No Diddy.
But look, Pat Bet David, I don't know. Ever since you joined him on your show, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Maybe the ratings are going up because he's controversial, but I don't think he's needed. I really don't think he's needed. Unless he's there for your personal punching bag purposes. You understand?
What I'm saying is that it's not horse dewormer, as you and everybody else at CNN mindlessly repeated.
Now,
what he said, no, let me finish.
Go
what
ahead.
he said, and what I'm saying is that it is a medicine that's been prescribed to people millions and I think billions of times, and it was totally demonized. Why? You already said why. You said it 2 years too late, but you already said why.
No, here's
because
why.
no one owned it.
Here's why. What Pat has on his desk right now, you do not want to take, okay? It is the veterinary grade. People were so desperate to get it because they were told it was a panacea. It was a cure-all.
By who? Who told them that?
It was online.
Well,
they
you just claimed
it.
Joe Rogan said it. You claimed I said it. Neither of us have said that.
But, so hold on. So why
was
was there a rush on all of a sudden?
Can I tell you my honest opinion about that? Okay, it's that the medical establishment and the corporate media so humiliated themselves that they lost trust with the entire American people. And then, yeah, there were some charlatans online who were saying, "Oh, go take this," and they trusted them.
Please, here's what happened. Okay?
If you think Joe Rogan said, "Take any form of iron you can get, and you'll never get,"
I'm not blaming Rogan. Here's what happened.
You should be apologizing.
And again, listen. Listen, here's what happened.
This is big business. This is the American way.
One thing about the Cuomos, their rhetoric is the very same. He speaks just like his brother. The way he assesses everything, the way he delivers, his cadence, everything is identical. Always pay attention to them. They always say, you know who doesn't believe you? It's very manipulative. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Do y'all see that? I know I see it.
Here's what happened. Also, let me tell you why I think apologies in this context are a stunt, okay? We don't accept apologies.
Me, I always tell the truth. Even when I lie.
Nobody accepts apologies except as an admission that you weaponize. That's why Trump never apologizes. He's right. Because if you apologize, everybody just beats you over the head with it.
Trump's got a lot to apologize for, and so do you.
I'm just saying, as a concept, and you should too on this, and I'll tell you why.
What should I apologize for?
Here's what happened. It wasn't because the media said don't take it, so everyone took it. The media would have never been talking about it unless people were taking it. Use your head. So here's what happens. They're prescribing it like crazy. They actually stop physicians from being able to prescribe it, which I think was a mistake. They then start giving out veterinary grade ivermectin. You didn't do the models. You're not about the modeling on this, but these numbers are making people nervous. Not nervous enough to not reopen, by the way, which is an important point. What is your perspective on them?
Yeah. Well, models that change numbers like this, Chris, often confuse people. But the fundamental core principle behind it doesn't change. And that's something that we've been saying all along.
As the word would suggest, you shouldn't take, right?
Because doctors were prescribing veterinary?
No, people were desperately trying to get it online. They couldn't find it. Okay. Ivermectin is the most studied potential treatment for COVID of all of them, which was a complete waste of money. And it was all done just to play on the politics of this. Merck, that made ivermectin, put out a statement during this saying, we do not advise it to be used for COVID-19. You can't find research that is seen as impressive by the research community that proves that ivermectin is effective in treating COVID-19. Rob can find you 100 studies, right? Listen, you're wrong on this.
No, I'm not.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because they're mad at me too, by the way. You think you guys are alone?
So,
no.
But why are you taking it
Here's
then?
why. My doctor, I didn't take it during COVID-19. And I didn't take hydroxychloroquine when I was sick with COVID-19, even though a lot of people thought they were being nice by sending it to me. Why? Because the research isn't there. Everybody should know that about you, Byron Donald. You are not telling people to get vaccinated. you are not pushing it. You are not saying it's the right choice. You're saying you're not doing it and your family's not doing it, and you're leaving out of the equation that you can make other people sick, as if that doesn't matter.
What country you from?
Okay?
Chris, did you not just hear my answer 30 seconds ago where I said if you want to be protected from these variants and the original
What about
strain,
protect
please
other
go
people?
get. I promote you to do that. I just told you live on your own show that if you want to get America, go do it. But if there are Americans like myself who choose not to, please don't berate me for doing that. That is a personal choice I have made. It's my own health care. I am allowed to do that. I'm entitled to do
Byron,
that.
you're absolutely with long COVID, okay? Not long vax. That's a different thing.
Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over.
If it's going to get recognized as such, I don't know. They won't say that yet. Long COVID, they're now saying exists. There is research. Is it dispositive? No. Do the people on the government levels and the research communities like that I said that I'm taking it? No. Do they think I'm setting myself up for lawsuits? Yes. But my doctor, I believe, is in the vanguard of people who are figuring out long COVID. And she has a lot of the same problems, by the way, with me and with the pandemic that you do. And she has found research, and she has had her own experience in using it in a combination with many other things where she believes it may be able to help. Now,
Chris Cuomo just came out and said he's got a vaccine injury. That guy was pushing that on TV forever. And he said he got it with his first dose, and then he got it again with his second dose. This is in New York Times. Thousands believe vaccines harm them. Is anyone listening? All vaccines have at least occasional side effects, but people who say they were injured by vaccines believe their cases have been ignored. Well, they have. They have been ignored. I have friends that...
I've been taking it. I don't feel any better. Does that mean it doesn't work? No. But
it's
that's
safe.
why I'm
it's
taking
safe
it.
and it's not horse
paste. It is definitely safe, but it's not horse paste because it's not horse paste.
But
that is horse paste.
By the way, no one ever at CNN during this time, when they were all saying it's horse dewormer, everyone was repeating, no one ever said, we're talking about the veterinarian ivermectin. We're not talking about the ivermectin that doctors prescribe.
Right. Yeah, they never ever said that. They made it really seem like it was a veterinary drug, you understand? They never said there was more than one type, especially for those who are totally oblivious to when it comes to the medical field, you understand? They always listen to what's being told to them, so the way they hear it, the way they see it, is how they believe it. And y'all can't deny this right here. The media really manipulated that whole entire situation.
Never said that. But listen, you told me I should apologize. So what do you think I should apologize for? And then I'll tell you what I think you should apologize for.
I know what you think I should apologize for. Obviously, there was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. The way to go take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like it.
You did it.
No.
People who are injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You talk about cancel culture and who to shame. A dewormer? Really?
Yes, you did.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan. You said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it. I'll go find the clip.
You just saw the clips.
I'm
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
no. The clip I'm talking about wasn't on there, and it's absolutely there. Here, do we have it? Hold on. Let's play the clip.
Hey, clips don't lie.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. What person? You talk about cancel culture and who to shame. A dewormer? Really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
Chris,
you can't apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was this, and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not being dishonest.
You were talking about ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about this version of ivermectin. Come on.
I was responding to a situation where we were told that this is what people were searching out to take, and nobody knew what it was going to do to them. Look, I'm taking the drug right now. Obviously, I don't think it's all poison. They need to be called out and shamed, brother. I stopped calling it the horse drug when, and you can not like it, CNN's chief medical officer, who is Sanjay Gupta.
Ask yourself this: why does a TV network have a chief medical doctor? What is the purpose for that? Y'all supposed to only be providing news. That's it. Everything else, as far as like telling people what to do and what not to. Nah, let the real doctors who are out there in the field say what they gotta really say. Not these chief medical people where they're gonna speak for a mass of doctors who really can't voice their opinion. We don't need that right there. That's not transparency. That's manipulation.
Said to me, you shouldn't just call it a horse dewormer. There's a whole legitimate aspect of the drug. I wouldn't use it for COVID-19, but it's not just the veterinary grade.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
So I stopped calling it that.
So, okay.
And then it went away.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this. One of the best moments during the pandemic was when Dr. Gupta, who was just mentioned, went on Joe Rogan's podcast. For all the days of CNN like demonizing Joe Rogan, they send their top doctor out there onto his show, and he goes, why is everyone on your network saying I'm taking horse dewormer? It's not. And Dr. Gupta looked down at his lap and went, yeah, no, they shouldn't be saying that.
So for you, Joe Rogan,
yes,
I would say you've had it.
Yes.
So now get one shot of the vaccine.
No.
Why not?
Because I have better immunity than I would if I was vaccinated.
But does he, Sanjay? Also, he's not a doctor. He sure is talking like one.
Well, Sanjay was the one who corrected
there was a better,
Sanjay was the one who corrected us.
No, actually, after that, he went back and laughed as Don Lemon called it horse dewormer again, and then I guess later corrected you guys. But then there was a moment, and this was the best moment, and you got to remember the context of this. This was during the vaccine passports. Okay, the point when the people like me, and I'm sure a lot of you, were basically turned into second-class citizens, weren't allowed to go into restaurants, weren't allowed to go to sporting events, weren't allowed to go into a lot of different office buildings,
outside.
things like that. And you, personally, along with everyone at CNN, cheered that on. You mused and joked around when you were interviewing Dr. Fauci about what rights the unvaccinated should have.
We've still got a lot of pandemwits out there. People are still taking this This poison, the poison control centers have seen this spike in calls from people taking this livestock medicine.
What the hell are you doing here? Yeah, it could be their last Thanksgiving. If you expose them to people who aren't wearing masks.
So Dr. Gupta goes to Joe Rogan and says, it is in the middle of all this. He goes, so you're going to get the vaccine? And Joe goes, no, I just had COVID. Why would I get it? I got natural immunity. It's stronger than the vaccine. And Dr. Gupta went, yeah, that's a good point. He had nothing for him. He had no response. It's like when you were
That's not even close to accurate. Okay?
Yeah. Well, remember last time we played the clip and I was right.
You weren't right about that either.
Yes, he was.
You weren't right about that
Chris,
either.
dude, you're in denial here, man.
Super
it's so
denial.
clear that you said that. Just admit it, man, and we can move on.
Again, rise up. You rise up and do your job, or get the hell out. How could you give this kind of advice? Here's the main difference. You may not say it this way, but this is what I think you're suggesting. You believe that you were demonized for not taking the vaccine, and that was wrong because it was right to not take the vaccine.
Okay. No. First of all, I don't believe I was demonized for taking the vaccine. We just played video proof of it. Me, and it's not me, it's me and tens of millions of Americans were demonized to take the vaccine. Now, when you say it was wrong because you weren't supposed to take the vaccine, I think, and this is summing up a lot in a short period of time, I think there was a strong argument in the initial wave of COVID. If you were old and sick and had never had COVID, it might have been a good idea to
What
take
if you
the
lived
vaccine.
with someone who was old and sick?
That probably wouldn't have done anything. Literally, it's not going to stop.
You don't know what you're talking about.
No,
you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
The science is
Chris,
obvious on this. The first, look, again.
Chris, you got a lot of nerve not apologizing and then telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
What do you want me to apologize for? For telling people to take the vaccine?
Okay, let's just stick with Joe Rogan. For mocking and smearing a person from the #1 show at CNN and then years later admitting he was completely right about what he said.
But don't worry about the anti-vaxxers being unprotected, because they have found a new drug that also does not protect them. It's called ivermectin.
How is that not attached to an apology? If I ever smeared someone aggressively and then 2 years later I had to admit that I come out and just say what you said to Pat on his podcast was exactly what Joe Rogan was saying this whole time. You go, first of all, it's not horse dewormer, it's used on people, it's very safe, and my doctor prescribed it to me. That's why I'm taking it. Yes, if I ever did that to someone, I would apologize for that.
But it's not the right context.
What?
And first of all, it's both, right? It's veterinary grade and human grade. I was not making a market.
Which one do you think Rogan was taking?
How dare you?
Yeah, answer that question. Obviously, it wasn't the veterinary grade. You understand what I mean? So, so listen, they really got to stop this manipulation on the media. They just got to stay out the way. We are not concerned. We are not dumb the way we used to be. People are more on point today. You understand? You cannot fool people the way you used to anymore. Especially with the internet. I'm telling you, you're not going to get away with it anymore. The only way is by forcing people, how they did with telling you need a passport to go here and go there. Like, let's be serious. We didn't need any of that.
I hope he was taking the human grade if he was prescribed it.
You might as well just get out.
Which one do you think Joe Rogan, who just signed his second $200 million deal, was taking? Do you think he was stealing it out of the cat bowl, or do you think he had a doctor?
I'm
who
sure
prescribed
that
it to him?
I'm sure they prescribed.
So then you guys were all wrong for demonizing him.
I think that it was wrong. Look, you guys want simple answers. You guys want simple answers to this, and it's not simple.
No, this is simple. This one is simple.
It's not simple.
The vaccine question might be more difficult. This is really simple, man.
The maker of the drug. You want me to apologize when the maker of the drug says don't use it for when all of the research says it is not effective for.
Well, okay, first of all,
I should say Joe Rogan was right to say take it.
There was a rush on it. What are we even arguing about here? You're on the drug.
Long COVID is different. Long COVID is different.
Man. Long, short, no
so
diddy.
First of all, just to be clear, and this is essentially the truth, right? There were some studies that seem to indicate that if you take ivermectin early in a COVID infection, there seemed to be some positive benefits. Then there were other studies that basically said, no, we're not seeing that. Now, I've heard a lot of experts, and this goes beyond my pay grade, argue that those other studies weren't properly done. Whatever it is, the reason why doctors were prescribing it to people like Joe Rogan and millions of other Americans was they were like, look, it's a mixed bag with the study. Some of them seem to indicate it might help. Some indicate it doesn't. But we know the drug. It's a people drug, and it's safe. So why not take this in your regimen along with a bunch of other things? That's the point. And you guys demonized him
I think
for
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Okay.
That's why they were prescribing it. I don't think they were prescribing it to be reckless.
No, that's right.
I think that's why they're prescribing it. But here's the problem with what you guys want. Okay? It is not some research says take it, some research says don't. Okay? It's just not that way. All right? And it's not even close. I'm telling you, I have not spoken with anyone in preparation for coming here tonight.
I really can't unsee this. It seems like every time he talks, I feel like he thinks he's talking to kindergarteners. You understand? Like he's reading a Dr. Seuss book. Why is his delivery this way? I really have a big issue with that.
Who said you can say ivermectin works with that is my doctor does believe it can be effective. With she is cool. The point remains the same. The point remains the same. What did he say? I didn't catch that. Say it again. I didn't hear it.
Is she a veterinarian?
Oh.
This was a good debate right here, although he still ain't try to fold. Listen, my man, you need to fold and deal with accountability. I know y'all see the same thing I'm seeing. With that being said, I'm gonna need y'all to go in the comments, run it up, flood it up. Let me know your thoughts on this whole debate right here. Whose side are you on, or who are you siding with? Are you siding with Chris Cuomo, or are you siding with Dave Smith? Y'all let me know, all right? With that being said, if you made it to this part of the video, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell. Wow, this one was different right here. See you on the next one.